Great Gatsby. Have you read it?
Welcome to our talk show. Today we'll be talking about The Great Gatsby.
6.5 hours later.
Let's get right into it. Well, as you can see, Jay Gatsby is a man with a lot of money, a lot of acquaintances, and very few friends. But however, rumors circulate that around him, he is the anti-hero of the whole book.
Jay Gatsby been through so much, and we can conclude that his theme was about when a person loses sight of what's important and focusing too much on the American dream, they don't really truly live their lives through happiness.
I agree with this, as it's shown that he falls in love with Daisy, and over time, he just gradually sees his love decaying, and that's why his American dream wasn't very successful. What do you think?
Well, I think that too. I think as a result, Jay Gatsby had a lot of affairs back then, but as you can see, his main true love, Daisy, was the most powerful impact in his love life.
And his parties were a great significance towards that. I mean, he was throwing all these parties to get her attention, yet it just only led to corruption through himself and trying to find things the proper way.
Well, how I see it was his dream was already flawed to begin with, because that one scene where he caught the clock. Well, it's like saying he's trying to catch the time. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to get what I'm saying, but like when you try to catch the time, he's just trying to save the moment, which was, well, it was a long time ago. So yeah. But let's hear a couple words from our guest speaker, Allison.
Gatsby himself didn't believe that it would come, and perhaps he no longer cared. He must have felt that he had lost the old warm world, paid a high price for living too long with a single dream. Page 161. This quote reveals that Gatsby had dedicated his entire life to achieve his single American dream of wealth and Daisy. However, he was so caught up in trying to achieve his American dream that it had prevented him from truly living his life and being happy. He lost sight of what was important in life, where he was blinded by the illusion of riches and his golden girl. I thought of Gatsby's wonder when he first picked out the green light at the end of Daisy's dock. He had come a long way to this blue lawn, and his dream must have seemed so close that he could hardly fail to grasp it. He did not know that it was already behind him. Gatsby believed in the green light, the orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. So we beat on, borne back ceaselessly into the past. Page 180. Gatsby's dream is one of the past. In reality, Gatsby could never go back in time to be with Daisy again. Reaching towards the past had prevented Gatsby from moving on with his life and onward towards his future. There are people looking at me.
Bruh. And that concludes this Allison segment of the show. Thank you for being a guest host on here. Greatly appreciate it.
Although I think Allison missed one great quote though. In chapter 8 it says, "I don't think she ever loved him." Gatsby turned around from a window and looked at me challengingly. "You must remember, old sport, she was very excited this afternoon." He told her those things in a way that frightened her, that made it look as if I was some kind of cheap sharper. And the result was she hardly knew what she was saying.
Well, this quote, it means many things, but to me, this is what it meant. It meant Gatsby actually rewrites the past to make it, appear to be what he wants it to be, which is, her loving him. But, unfortunately, sad to say, but she really doesn't, and she's saying no, and he has to accept that fact, because you can't live in the past, live in the future, live in the present. There we go.
Well, that concludes our talk show today. Thank you for joining us.